We're live on Hangouts now. Want to make sure everything tests out okay.
Okay. I'm going to shut this door so it's not.
Can you hear everything okay?
Yeah.
Google. So now when you're on here, are you able to see like who's on the call at the bottom on your end?
I see you.
Okay.
Yeah, it says John.
Okay.
And then you changed it to Toya.
Okay. Yeah, that's my girlfriend. She's kind of engineering. Good. Can you see everything? Okay, you
Yeah.
can get up now. All right. So I'm getting ready to go live on Facebook now. Make sure everything's good. Send out a few invites. So you can stay on the Hangouts call?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have my laptop and I can try to how it is on it.
All right, I'm just going to send out a few invites. All right, here we go. Yeah, I think we're good. What's going on, guys? This is John Clement, owner of J Sharp Studios, here with another episode of Identity Design Branding. This is a special edition. This is the Shark Tank edition. We have a very special guest on tonight. We have the one, the only owner of the Spatty. If you guys are a Shark Tank fan like I am, and you've watched nearly every episode, I want to introduce Cheryl Rigdon. She is the owner of the Spatty. I'm going to, turn it over to her and let her introduce herself. Give us your 47-second introduction. Tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
Well, thanks for having me on here. It's a pleasure to be on here. Yes, I'm Cheryl Rigdon, the creator of Spatty. I live here in good old Greenville, Easley, South Carolina area. The accent. Yes, I'm a mompreneur. I have a little 4-year-old and a 4-month-old. So busy working, running my business from home and taking care of my 2 girls and being a wife. So it's been quite a run. I didn't have any kids when I first started off, so new experience with having them and running a business from home.
Nice. So you're the owner of the Spatty. Tell us, like, where did you come up with the name? Like, why the Spatty? Like, what exactly does that mean?
Well, my husband actually came up with the name. It kind of stands for a small spatula. So he kind of came up with the name Spatty for kind of a small spatula. Is kind of where it came from. And then the Spatty Daddy, the bigger small spatulas. He came up with that name as well too. So he's the branding of the name.
Okay, nice. So how did you get the idea for the business?
So me and my husband were going to go out for dinner on a Saturday night, and I was getting ready, and I was putting my makeup on, and I had already got my makeup bottle and I turned it over, and women know you kind of bang it out, you try to get your makeup out, and I'd already done that, and I couldn't get any more makeup out. And I was like, I can't go out, this. I had about half my face done. I can't go out with only half my face done. So I was like, I got to get the rest of this makeup on. I can see it in here. And I went to the bathroom and got a Q-tip and tried it. And it just soaked the makeup up. And then I had white cotton on my face. I'm like, this is not working. So I was like, there's got to be something I can buy to get this makeup out with. There's a lot in there. And I couldn't find anything online. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to make something for myself to use. That's kind of where the whole idea started from.
So, so how did you go from having a master's in speech pathology to wanting to own your own business? Like, how does that, like, what did you want to do with your degree?
Well, I guess, yeah, what I'm doing now has nothing to do with my degree. Yes. So I never planned on owning my own business. I never planned on inventing a product. It just kind of happened, out of that frustration that night. And then I just happened to sell a few on eBay to see what people thought about it, because I thought it was a good idea. Like, well, maybe there's other people out there who have this same frustration that I do. And I got a lot of good responses back. And around this time, Shark Tank was casting for season 4 that I was on. And I was like, I'm just going to throw it out there, and I'm just going to, see if I can get on this show. Because I looked into getting a mold made, and it was very expensive, between like $30,000 and $50,000 to get this mold made. Oh. And so I was like, wow, I don't know that I can, front that type of, I can't front that type of money to get this mold made, but I think I have a good idea. And so I happened to get on Shark Tank, and everything just kind of, went from there. And I continued working as a speech pathologist for the first few years that I ran this business, until it got to the point to where I had to quit and do this full time. So it got to be too much doing both.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of a good problem to have, if your business is starting to grow. Like being here in the South, being in Greenville or Easley, how did you start, like, pre-Shark Tank? How did you start to, like, get the word out about your product?
Well, I was in a very unique, position, because I pretty much got my start from Shark Tank. I was pretty much at my very first steps. So the only thing I had done prior to going on to Shark Tank was I had sold some on eBay, and people told me they really liked it. They said, "Oh, we want a bigger one. I need one for my lotions." And that's when I came up with the Spatty Daddy. And then I'd give some to friends and family, and they all tried it out and liked it. And that's really where I was at when I went on Shark Tank. So pretty much from the very get-go, I had national exposure for my product.
Wow. So how did that make a difference? Like, going from, just selling to friends and family, to being on this, nationally syndicated show, where, if this is, like, I'm assuming, like, these were, products you were kind of making in your home initially.
Yeah, they're all handmade. Mm-hmm,
yeah. Like what happened, like, the day that the show aired? What happened?
Well, so when I was on Shark Tank, I was never guaranteed that an episode would air. So when I was on there, I had to decide, because I didn't get the deal when I was on there. So I had to say, am I going to move forward with this? Like, if my episode does air, if I don't have a website, if I don't have a product, I'm going to lose out on, what could be. I won't get any sales if I happen to get on here because I don't have a product, I don't have a website, so if my episode does air, I need to have a product, I need to have a website. So me and my husband talked, and we decided, it's worth the risk to go ahead and pursue getting it made and pursue getting a website up. So it was a huge learning curve for me, from being a speech pathologist to having to learn, okay, how am I going to get this made? I had 4 months from the time I filmed to the time it aired. Wow. All that I had. And so it was a lot of learning, a lot of frustration trying to figure out how to get this made, because, meeting with injection molding people, meeting with mold manufacturers, meeting with people to design the website. I mean, I had to do the whole thing just within a few months, which was, so it was a lot of nights, a lot of worrying and tears and excitement, and a lot of ups and downs. It was, a very difficult, but, fun, worrisome, difficult, but also, a fun time trying to, get it ready for when I did get that call, like, oh, okay, so next week you're going to be on, are you ready? And how to get my website up and ready and everything else within that amount of time was,
wow.
So, it was definitely worth it.
So basically they tell you, okay, what allowed them, like, what got you to the point where they said, yes, you can, because I'm sure they get like thousands of submissions.
They do.
Like, what got you, like, on the carpet?
So I know that the 2 people that I worked with I know they really, what do you call them? I had 2 people that called me every week and that we would talk, that worked for Shark Tank, I guess directors. And so they would kind of every month, I think they sat together and they would say, okay, tell us why your person should go forward. And so they had to vouch for me and say why they felt that I should be in front of the Sharks. And so I owe a lot to them for believing in me and believing in my product and, you know, believing that I would make a good story, you know, for Shark Tank. Because it is, you know, TV shows, I think it has to be kind of, you know, entertaining and stuff too.
Right.
I think they felt that my story was very, you know, compelling. Somebody just starting out, you know, from the beginning with this handmade product coming on there. And I think they saw it as a product that a lot of people needed, a lot of people out there would want. I felt that my story would make, you know, also for good TV as well. I think the Southern accent helped.
Right. Yeah, because they mentioned that on the show.
But yes, but I know I owe a lot to my producers. I owe a lot to my 2 producers that I worked with because they vouched for me and they pushed for me to get on there.
So you're on the carpet. You are in front of the Sharks. You're pitching your idea. What's going through your head while you got these 5 people sitting there, you know, kind of staring at you while you pitch?
I'm like, what am I doing here? No, because when you watch the show, most people have their businesses kind of made it. They're already out on the market. You know, they already have they're already in stores, or you know, they've already at least had their product made. Mine was just a handmade product. So I felt, you know, like I was definitely early there, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So I'd never started a business. Like as you said earlier, I'm a speech pathologist by trade, what I went to school for, and so you know, starting a business, you know, I didn't know a lot of that. So I'm glad they didn't ask me a lot of business questions because I would not have been able to answer those. And that was one of the reasons some of them went out. Like Mark, he was like, you know, you're at the very early stages. You're going to need my help. I don't have the time to help you with what you're going to need because you're so early on, you know, that I just don't have the time. And then Mr. Wonderful really liked the product. He's like, this thing's sure gold. You know, he thought it was wonderful, but I didn't have a business plan because he's like, I can't give you my money if you don't have a business plan, which I understand. But at the time, you know, I was like, what's a business plan? You know, I mean, like I said, I was at the very early stages of it. So like I said, I had a ton to learn from the beginning. But they were all very gracious and very nice to me. They all, you know, none of them gave me a hard time. They were all very nice. They all thought, you know, that the product was great. And so it kind of felt, I was nervous at first going out there, but during my pitch, they all kind of started laughing at the Spatty name because they liked it. They called Kevin the Spatty Daddy. And, you know, and I remember when I was getting through my pitch, they kept talking to me and kind of, you know, interacting and laughing. It felt more like it made it more comfortable. When all that kind of stuff started happening, it kind of took the fear and the edge off in the room. So
nice. Now I remember Damon saying something to you like at the end of your pitch or at the end of that portion. He had mentioned, you know, something about, well, you know, I'll give you some numbers to some cosmetic companies and things like that. Like, did he follow through?
Oh, Damon's been great. We still talk. He's been wonderful. Him and his team still help me out. They actually got me on Home Shopping Network a while back. And I can email if I have some business stuff come up that I'm not sure about. I can always email him off, and he'll let me know, you know, this is a good idea, it's not a good idea, or, you know, send me somebody that I can contact and look into. And so he's always kind of helped represent my product, and so he's been wonderful. So he's been a good mentor kind of to have along the way.
So for those that don't know, I've got a sample of the product here. This is the Spatty. And tell us about the Spatty. Like, what does it do? Because I know you've got several products. So tell us about what exactly the Spatty is and what it does.
So it's just kind of it's a miniature spatula that have different versions because it can be used for so many different things. But I have a cosmetic version that's used to get the remainder of your foundation out, the remainder of your lotion out, your shampoos, your conditioners. Pretty much any liquid cosmetic product is great to get inside those small openings to get the rest of that product out. But then I have people saying, well, I want one for my kitchen, or I want one for my glue, or I want one to use in my garage. I'm like, well, you can't use your makeup one on your food or your food one in your garage. And so I came up with the same product. It's just different colors. So, you know, you don't mix your kitchen one with your cosmetic one or your cosmetic one with your craft one. So I have a crafting spatula and a handyman spatula and a kitchen and a cosmetic one. So you can use them for all different uses around your home. If you need to get product out of your ketchup, if you need to get product out of your Mod Podge for your crafters, or if you need for your paint, you know, I have the handyman. So I have all different versions out there to get the remainder of your product out, or to smear, or if you need to, you know, it's also nice because you can take it right from that and put it right on whatever you need to. So like this Spatty, if you use your foundation, instead of having to get your fingers on it, you can just put it, you know, right on your sponge or right on your face. You know, with the ketchup, you can get it, you can put it right on your bread. So it's nice, you can take it from whatever you get to put right on the surface that you need to put it on.
So you've got 4 products.
Yes.
You've got the cosmetic, the kitchen, the handyman's helper, and there's a 4th one I'm missing.
Yeah, we call it the crafting essentials.
The crafting. Okay. I love the slogan, get to the bottom of it.
Thank you.
I mean, that says it in a nutshell. So tell me this. I noticed on your packaging, you've got, you know, of course, you've got English, and then I noticed you've got French.
Yes, we have French in there because it is in Canada. The cosmetic one is in Bed Bath & Beyond in Canada. And then we shipped out to QVC in France not long ago. So they needed also the French on there. And so I went on ahead, and even though all the products aren't sold internationally, I'm hoping that one day they will be. And so instead of having to repackage and rebuy and all the packaging, I went on ahead and had the French added to all my packaging. So when it does go international, when the rest of them does go to Canada or does go over to Europe, it's already ready for them. I don't have to redo anything.
So right now I was checking out your website, and you're like everywhere. You're in Walmart, Amazon, Target. You guys can get this product everywhere. You're in Belk, which surprised me. But I mean, you've got a lot of distribution out there. Like, what was your first avenue of distribution?
So my very first retail I got in was Bed Bath & Beyond, which is kind of an interesting story. I got on there about a year after being on Shark Tank. So everything was just before Bed Bath & Beyond, that first year after being on Shark Tank, everything was just sold based off my website. My first retailer was Bed Bath & Beyond. And I remember reaching out to them, and they originally told me no, that they weren't going to carry it. And then I was like, well, I'm going to go into the local Bed Bath & Beyond and see if he could have any interest in selling it in his store. You know, I didn't know if maybe they could sell items just in their store, not locally. So I went and met with him. He said he really liked it, and he would reach out to corporate. He couldn't pick it up himself, but corporate would have to pick it up. And so I got a call from corporate maybe 3 months later saying, hey, you know, we want to sell a Spatty. I don't know how I heard about you, but I like your product and we'd like to sell it. And so I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I just heard from y'all, you know, not too long ago, and y'all said no. So I'm really excited, you know, that, you know, y'all are going to try to sell it. And at first they were looking to only sell it in a few of their stores to try it out. But then at the end, they wound up putting it in all their stores. Nice. So that also was a big jump from not having any retail to going into 100% of Bed Bath & Beyond's and having to kind of ramp up my, you know, get my products made and learning everything I needed to for getting into a retail store, which was a huge learning curve for me too. All the different things I had to learn about getting product ready for retail and getting into the stores and all the paperwork that's required for that.
So as far as like in that same vein of having that learning curve. Did you have a team of people that you were working with? Was it just you and your husband? Like, how did you go through that process and
there was a guy I was working with. He has a company called Ant Hill Retail, and he's brought products to the market before. And so I met him. He kind of reached out to me on a Shark Tank group that I was on. He's like, hey, I'm looking to bring on new products. If you're interested, this is my contact me. And I was like, oh, I need somebody like that. I don't know how to get right. I don't know what to do. I'm lost in the sauce. I have no idea. I'm clueless. I don't know what to do. And so I still work with him, but he was amazing to work with because he knew, about all the stuff that I had no idea about needing a DUNS number, about needing GS1 barcodes, about having all the vendor paperwork. I didn't know all the acronyms. I had no idea what they meant, like FLB. Like, what's FLB? Like, oh, freight on board. Okay. So all these things I know now by heart, when I first started, I didn't know what any of this stuff, meant. And so, he helped me fill out all the vendor docs. He did all the talking with Bed Bath Beyond for me. Cause I was like, well, if I'm going to talk with them, I'm going to not sound like I know what I'm doing, because I don't, so I need somebody who's sold to retail, who's been in retail, who could answer their questions, so they feel confident in me that I'll be able to get their product out to them like I need to. So having somebody who, I guess, is sold to retail and knows all that, was a huge thing that, I really needed that in the beginning. So I'm very appreciative, that I had him, because had I not, I don't know that I would have landed that deal with Bed Bath & Beyond.
Very nice. So for those of you guys that are just joining us, we are talking to, we have a special episode tonight of identity design. We're talking with the owner of the Spatty, Ms. Cheryl Rigdon. And just want to let you guys know that we will be giving away tonight, someone will receive a 2-pack of the Spatty cosmetic. So if you would like to win that, make sure that you stay tuned on the show. Make sure you watch the whole show. And someone that's listening or watching tonight will be winning one of these. So once the show is over, we'll do the giveaway, and we'll have this sent out to you. So we want to thank Cheryl for bringing that to the show. So let me ask you this: what do you think in this whole process? Like, I'm sure there was things that you didn't know that you may have messed up on. Like, what would you think? Like, was your biggest mistake in this whole, like, I'm going to start a business process, and how did you work through that mistake?
Well, I know right after I was on Shark Tank, I got a letter from a company that said they were an As Seen on TV company. And like, hey, we want to see about bringing your product on with us. It only cost you $8,000. And I was like, oh, but it's As Seen on TV. And people who are on As Seen on TV, you can make tons of money. You can get into Walmart, you can get into Target, you can get into Walgreens, CVS, you can get in everywhere. You see some of these products, I was like, it's like, yeah, I think my product did great on there. When I was on Shark Tank, it sold, enough product that I was able to pay for my mold. I was able to pay for my product run. This is going to do great on TV. It showed so great. I know it shows great on TV. It showed great on Shark Tank, and it was just a handmade product. So how much greater will it show with an infomercial? And so I didn't have a lot of money starting out. And so $8,000 is a lot of money, and it still is a lot of money, but I was like, well, it's worth it. So I'm going to pay it. And so I did it. I didn't look into the company. I didn't look into anything. I was just, I just came off from Shark Tank, and I got this, like, oh, wow, let's do it. And so I did it, and they told me that only one sold. I was like,
wow,
what? Only one? Like that. It just did. It's like, there's no way that only one sold. Y'all sure y'all aired it? Y'all sure y'all did this? And they're like, nope, only one sold. So, and then there's a Shark Tank. I reached out to some of the other Shark Tank companies, and I kind of asked them, have y'all heard of this company? Have y'all done stuff with them? And they're like, oh, that's a scam. That's a scam company. Don't do anything with them. I was like, seriously? And so I was like, so I do my homework now anytime somebody reaches out to me. So that was, a big a big hit, especially early on, because I mean I could have used that money to make more product. I could, and there's just so many things I could use that money for. And it pretty much I just threw it away. And so that was a pretty big hit, you know, for me. So I always kind of look into, you know, companies that, you know, reach out and stuff, because there are a lot of scammers out there, you know, who will, you know, try to take advantage and everything. So
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that I've learned. That's one thing I think that Damon and them has helped me out with. Sometimes I'll get emails from people like, hey, do y'all know this company? Y'all know, what do y'all think about this person's email? And so that's kind of one of the ways that, you know, he's kind of help me out too. When I get some of the stuff that I'm not sure about, you know, I try to double check and stuff now.
Yeah, I think that as a business owner, that's one of the things we have to do is we have to do our due diligence. And I mean, if we're new in business and we don't really know, we definitely have to surround ourselves with people who are like more experienced and have kind of been there, done that. And you got a group of people that you could either talk to or email or call and say, hey, I need your help with this. And because we either learn it by a mentor or we learn it by experience. And a lot of times that experience can be an expensive one.
Yes.
So we definitely want to, it's good for, as a business owner, that you have that circle of people that that you can call on in that time when you're like, okay, I really don't know the answer to this. We know our craft so well and we know how to do what we do, but from the business standpoint, a lot of times we don't know the business side of the business. We just know the talent side of the business.
Yes.
So it's really good that we have that. So let's just say tomorrow that Spatty Daddy no longer exists. Like, what's your next plan? Like, is there a plan B? Is it, I'm going to ride this till the wheels fall off? Like, what? Tell me your if Spatty Daddy, if nobody bought another Spatty,
Yeah.
like what would be next for Cheryl?
Well, I still have my my speech degree, my speech pathology degree, so I could always it's still active, so I could always still go back and continue to do speech pathology, continue to be a speech pathologist in the schools, which would probably be something I would do. But I'm also have always wanted to write a children's book. So I'm actually working on writing a children's book right now. So if that did happen, you know, I might go back to work and be a speech pathologist, and then continue to work on the children's book I'm writing and see about, you know, getting that published and maybe being a children's book writer or something like that as well. Something I'd be looking, you know, I've always wanted to do that. So I was like, well, why not try it, you know? Right.
So are there any, like I was watching an episode of Shark Tank, and I don't remember if it was the same episode. It was around that same season. The guy, Scrub Daddy,
yes,
was on, and I've looked at his products kind of develop over the years, where he's got the Scrub Daddy, and then he's got the Scrub Mama. He's got all these different products. So are there any other extensions or products under the Spatty umbrella that we can look forward to seeing in the future?
There are two that I'm looking into right now. One of them I have to make sure that I'm not infringing on a patent that's currently out there. So I've reached out to a lawyer, waiting to hear back from him, but I do have an idea that I'm working on with there. And then another one, we're talking with some mold makers, getting some pricing on kind of what would cost for the mold, and also working with a lawyer to kind of figure out, this is a product also, if there's any patents out there for the other product I'm looking to do. So I have two things that are kind of in the works, but still at the very early stages of those.
Okay. So what are some of the things, like, now that you're an entrepreneur, what are some of the issues that like still get in the way, that still kind of like maybe roadblocks, or are there, or is it like, now that you've got the distribution in like the Target and the Walmart and the Bed Bath and Beyond, are there any like obstacles that you're still kind of like struggling with because I mean, you've been in business for how long?
Since 2012.
Okay. So that's 6 years. Yeah. So are there, as a 6-year-old business, which some may still be like, okay, this is a baby business. Like, what have you seen as far as some of the issues that may still get in your way as an entrepreneur? Whether it be just like personal, you know, time management, things like that?
Time management has definitely been a challenge. I have a 4-month-old, so it's been a huge challenge here the last couple months, with, managing my time. So I do work from home. So managing my time between spending enough time with my 4-year-old daughter and then taking care of my 4-month-old daughter and also running this business. It has been, and then, spend time, also being a wife, spend time with my husband and everything else. It's definitely time management. It's definitely been a huge challenge. I'm still struggling with it and still trying to, find a good balance between all of it. And sometimes I'll be working late, till 2 in the morning. Sometimes entrepreneur, you never stop. It's your business. You have to run it. You're the one who runs it. So it doesn't stop. It's like a 9-to-5 job where you can just cut it off, at a certain time. And so that's kind of, been a struggle. And then I think the other thing I was kind of, still difficult is working on, like, when we had to ship off to QVC over in Europe, just all the different regulations and stuff they have over there, and trying to figure out how to ship overseas. That's, was a challenge, and I'm still working on having enough product set aside to be able to ship out, because sometimes, orders might be kind of slow for a few months, and all of a sudden orders just skyrocket. And then spinning my wheels trying to make sure I have enough product and make sure I have enough product ready. And then luckily I have my product made here in the USA and it's made locally. And so there's been several times where I've had to drive to the place that makes a product and then drive to the place that packages my product and drop it off so I can have product made and shipped out in time.
So talk a little bit about that. The product is made in the USA. Mm-hmm. I've heard several times on Shark Tank where they may mention, oh, well, if the product was made in China, it could be, X amount of dollars less or pennies less or whatever. Tell me why you decided to have it make it in America and continue to do that.
Yes. Well, I've always from the beginning wanted it made here. I never wanted to have to make it overseas. First, I don't want to fly over to China and make sure they're making my product right. I don't want them making a mold for themselves and selling my product for cheaper over there. I want to know that the quality is what the quality should be. If it's made over in China, I don't know until it gets over here to me, what's the quality of my product? Do they use the product they were supposed to make? I say my product's FDA approved, it's BPA free, how do I know that they really use those materials over in China? And then when I get it, what they're not good, what they're bad products, you have to ship them all back, and then how's that all work? The time that it takes to make them there and then ship them here and then ship them back, and the quality control. I'm like, I don't want to deal with all that. I want to have it local. I want it made in the USA, but also want it to be local. I also want to be able to drive to the place that makes my product and be able to sit down and talk with them and say, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for. And have that relationship with them. And Strategy Plastics is a place that makes them, and Ultra Pack is a place that packages my product. And they're two great companies that have been great to work with, and have been there for me since the beginning. And we have a great relationship. And like I said, I can just drive 30, 45 minutes down the road and be there if there's any need to be there. And so I wouldn't change that, for a product that's 20 cents less. Right. I'd rather not make that 20 cents more profit and have what I have here.
Exactly. Well, we appreciate you guys joining on the video, joining us on Facebook Live. We're live on Facebook, we're live on Google Hangouts, and we are live on YouTube right now. We're talking to Cheryl Rigdon. She's the owner of the Spatty. She was featured on season 4 of Shark Tank. So we're talking to her about her brand. We're talking to her about just her journey as a business owner. But we did have a question from Steve. He was asking where the product's currently sold. First of all, you can go to her website, which is thespatty.com, THESPATTY.com. You can also find it in Walmart, Amazon, Target, Bed Bath & Beyond. I think it's even in Kmart and in Belk's, and a whole list of other retailers that you can find on her website. So she's definitely out there I've seen her product actually at Bed Bath & Beyond recently, so you guys can definitely pick it up. She has 4 products that you guys can choose from. She has one for cosmetics. She has the Handyman's Tool, which is for, or the Handyman's Helper, which is for you guys. And they're all different in color, so you don't kind of get them mixed up. And then she has, let me make sure I get them all right. She's got the, gosh, let me make sure I get them right. Okay, so she's got the one for beauty and bath, which is a cosmetic. She's got the kitchen essentials, which I'm going to be using because I love to cook. And then she has one for crafting, and then she has the Handyman's Helper. So she's got 4 different products. You can find them all on her website. You can find those products at those retailers. And, you know, just go out and get it. Support this local business. We need to support local businesses. And this is a local business owner that has a great product, has a great heart, and which I want to talk about a little bit. I noticed that on your products that you give back. So tell us a little bit about you giving back.
Yes, so I give a percentage to, as they're actually local too, Water of Life. And they go overseas and build wells in third world countries, and also share the gospel over there as well. So, you know, I think about over here, we have water coming out of everywhere. I mean, every faucet, we have all these faucets in our house, faucets outside. You know, we have no trouble, you know, with water. But then, you know, a lot of these places, a lot of these third world countries, I mean, they have to walk miles and miles to get to a water source. And so, you know, I wanted to support also a local company as well, who has, I guess, kind of the same heart that I do, or some of the same issues that I have. And so that's kind of why I chose Water of Life to be the company that I give a percentage of my proceeds to.
Very nice, very nice. So you're giving back. You're creating a brand, which is a really great thing that you're giving back. So talk to me a little bit about social media. Like, how are you, as your company and your personal brand, how are you using social media to build your company and build a following?
I think the girl who's helping with social media is watching. Hey, Sarah. She's on here watching, I think. But I know social media is so important, especially in today's age. Everybody's on social media. And so I didn't really use it that much at first. And, you know, I was like, you know what, I need to do more with it. And I tried doing it myself, but it was just too much. Trying to run a business and be a mom and be a wife. I was like, I can't, you know, learn about all this stuff in social media too. There's so much you have to learn about it. Certain times you're supposed to post, or certain hashtags you're supposed to post. I mean, there's a lot that goes into posting on social media. You know, you can't just throw out anything. You know, there's a lot of thought and a lot of strategy that goes into it. And so, so yeah, one of my friends, she loves doing that kind of stuff. She's very talented with it. And I was like, I need you. I can't do this myself. You know, will you please, you know, come on and be, you know, help me with my social media and do that. And so she's kind of taken that on for force and has done an excellent job with it. So I'm very pleased kind of with what she's been doing with all my social media.
Okay, good deal. So what advice would you give? You've been in business now for 6 years. We may have people that are on the call that are looking to start a business, or have started their business. They may be in the first year, but they're looking to grow their business. They may even be looking at trying to be on Shark Tank, or look for an investor, an angel investor. So what advice would you give those who, you know, would want to start a business?
I mean, I would say definitely, you know, go for it. That's where your heart is, and you believe in your product. You definitely have to believe in it, and you definitely have to be willing to put up the hard work, and you have to be okay with getting told no. You have to be okay with, you know, there's going to be a lot of downtimes. We do get told no. It's going to be a lot of times where it is really tough, and, you know, I've had plenty of times where I've just cried, like, I don't think I can do this, you know, because it is hard, and it's not, you know, running your own business, starting your own business isn't just for anybody. You know, it's tough, and it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of perseverance, and you have to be able to learn from your mistakes, and you have to be able to, I think, look for that advice and take that advice and understand that maybe somebody might say, you know what, that's not the best idea. Why don't you try it this way? And, you know, I think one of the things that I have not done that I need to do a better job with is kind of keeping up with, I should have done from the very beginning, you know, with my paperwork and with keeping track of, you know, all my sales and like kind of, okay, this is how much I got this year from this company. Because now I'm having to go back and start to do an Excel document and go back and do all that because I have some, so I would say, you know, definitely go for it. But definitely, like you said earlier, find those people who know about social media. Find those people who know about getting into retail if that's what you want to do. Find those people who know about injection plastic like I had to, or, you know, whatever you're trying to learn about or your product's going to be, find those people who already know about that stuff and reach out to them and talk to them. You know, me and my dad's, you know, wanting to bring a food product to the market. And so that Clemson has an awesome program, you know, a food science program, you know, so we're reaching out to the professors there like, hey, we're looking to bring this product to the market. We want to come and sit with you and talk with you, you know, to figure out, you know, what are the steps we should take for this. So I think the most important thing to do is to find those people to build your circle around who you can who have specialties in different areas that you need to build your business.
That's good. That's good. So what would you like on a daily basis? You have to continue to work with your business. You have to continue to grow it. And, you know, there are times, like you said, we're up early in the morning, we're up late at night, and then we have our regular lives, whether it be a spouse or kids or another job or whatever it may be. And there are those times where you may get like feeling a little beat down, or you may get a little discouraged, or feel like things aren't happening fast enough for you. Like, what drives you? What keeps you going? Like, what makes you get up the next day and say, okay, I'm going to take on the day and I'm going to kick butt and take names?
I think there's definitely been those times where it has been like, I'm just exhausted, you know, and I think you do have to have that off switch sometimes where you have to just put stuff aside, you know, things that have to be done, get done, you know, but the things that don't have to be done immediately, you know, sometimes you do just need to say, okay, you know what, for this hour, I'm not going to do any work. I'm going to just sit here with my child, or I'm going to sit here and read a book, or I'm going to sit here and just relax, you know, or this weekend, you're not going to do anything this weekend. Yeah, I think you do need that yours too as well. You know, we have to kind of have that off switch, and that's hard for me because I'm a very type A person and I have a to-do list. And if my to-do list isn't done, then I'm like, okay, I got to get the stuff off of here. So that's one thing that I have to do a better job with myself, is doing that. I think that's very important. But I think one thing that keeps me going too is, you know, this could be a future for my kids one day. You know, this could be something that I could pass down to them. This could be, you know, something that helps pay for their college. This is also a product that I believe in, that I believe is a great product and that's saving people money. And that I think definitely a product that could be here to stay, and that still, I believe, has a ton of growth still for it. You know, we're just barely touching the Canadian market. We're just starting in the European market, you know, but I think this is definitely a product that can be used worldwide, that, you know, that women and men, you know, can use to help save them money. And it's definitely, it's, you know, a well-made product. So I believe in it. I think that's one of the things that keeps me going too, is that I believe in my product. And so I want to keep it, you know, keep getting out there and keep growing it, because I believe it's something that, like I said, you know, it's helpful and it's something that saves you money. And so I figure something that I feel that everybody needs, and something that I love and I believe in. So, and it's also, I guess, something I'm proud of, that I've brought from a handmade product to now being in, you know, one of the largest retailers. And it's kind of crazy when you sit there and if I actually sit down and think about it, it's kind of an amazing thing that it came from that little handmade product to where it is now.
So is there anyone, like, right now you've been out for a while, have you seen any competition, and what would make yours different from that competition? Because I know copycats may come up.
Yes. There are some other products that, you know, have come out. One of them's kind of shaped like a spoon, and so with it, you still have to like get your finger in it to get it out. It doesn't, come out easily. As with mine, you can still spread it on any surface you need to. Or with this other one, like I said, it's more kind of like cupped like a spoon. And so you still have to find something else to get the product out with. Mine's the only product that can be used, for the kitchen, for crafting, for around the house. The other products are just for cosmetics. So mine's the only one that, we've kind of gone above and beyond and been more innovative and have, said, hey, this product can be used for other things other than just cosmetics. So let's, get it out there for other things as well. So I think mine's kind of has gone over what these other products have kind of, I guess.
Have you had any issues with like copyright infringement or anything like that, or trademark infringement?
No. One of the things that I was told kind of early on going into this is it's not a product that can kind of be patented, because it's kind of like a knife or a spoon or a spatula. You can't patent the use of that. And if I patent the design of it, you can just change an aspect of it, and you're not infringing on the patent. So the main thing is just getting your product out there, brand recognition, and people, liking your product and sharing it with other people, word of mouth. This is, you want this product for this, you want the Spatty to use on your cosmetics, things wonderful, and people's word of mouth spreading it, and, being on Good Morning America and The View and Shark Tank and having it in, Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, and kind of just getting the brand out there and getting it in front of people is the most important thing. And the word of mouth is, the biggest thing, out there is for people to like it and to share it and tell other people about it.
So you've been doing this for 6 years. What would you say is your most or your biggest accomplishment, or your most rewarding accomplishment?
I don't know. That's a hard one because I feel, getting on Shark Tank, at that time was my biggest accomplishment. And then, getting my first sale in Bed Bath & Beyond, and then getting it into the biggest retailer, Amazon, I guess, is the biggest retailer now, and Walmart, getting into Walmart and it's selling so well on Amazon, and just having a product, having my idea go from this handmade, little rinky-dink handmade product to an actual manufactured product. And I guess just, learning all these things and taking a product from an idea into retail. It's all been very rewarding. So I don't know that I could pick one thing. I think there's lots of different things that I feel are very rewarding about it.
So some of the things that I've kind of noticed in the conversation that we've had that I think is essential for business people are, one, you have to know your competition. Know that when you get your product out there, that there may be copycats. There may be somebody who may want to tweak a little something about their product. But if you don't know that, a lot of people think that, oh, well, I don't have any competition. There's nothing like my product. But there's someone waiting in the wings. I think Mark Cuban says it a lot. There's someone's waiting in the wings to, take your lunch. And it's like, you have to be ready for that and know who your competition is. The other thing is making sure that you have a team. Have a team of people that support you, not only family and friends, but have a professional team of people that can support your vision and support your product and support your brand, and are not gonna be that yes team. You want that team of people that are gonna tell you when no, we don't need to do that, or maybe you don't need to move just yet. But have that team of honest people in your corner that are going to give you that honest feedback and not be yes men or yes women.
I agree. Yes.
The other thing is I have on here is, or two things are, have a plan. I've always said that if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So you've got to have a plan where you know where your business is going to go, and then you've got to do your homework. So I think, a lot of times we'll know our craft and we know a lot about whether we do hair, or we fix cars, or we design, or we bake cakes, or we have a product. we know our product, we know our craft, we know our service, but we don't know the business side. And I think we have to do our homework in figuring out, you know, about manufacturing, like you said, about injection molding and shipping internationally and the different rules and regulations of business. We have to do our homework. If we don't continue to learn, even 6 years later, I'm sure you're still learning in your business.
Yes, I am.
So we definitely have to do our homework and make sure that we stay abreast of not only our business but where we want to go. So you've been in business 6 years. What does the future hold for the Spatty?
Well, future holds definitely getting into some more retail nationally. We have a lot of retail kind of on the rise, and we're talking with and should be getting into here in the near future and bringing on some. Hopefully, I won't be infringing on any patents, or there's no patents out there, and I can bring on these other products that I'm hoping to bring to the market. Continuing to expand internationally, continue to expand into Canada, and continuing to expand into the European market, and kind of figuring out pricing. That's the big thing, is the pricing difference, getting to shipping over there and how much more the product's going to cost when it gets over there. So just some different things like that, that we're working on and trying to figure out, so we can, have more of a presence in the European market. So yeah, those are the big things, is kind of getting into more retail and more international, and bringing on some more products hopefully by the end of this year.
Very nice. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me on this episode. Thank you guys for joining in with my special guest, Cheryl Rigdon. She is the owner of The Spatty. You can find her at thespatty.com. She's on Facebook, Instagram, all your social media avenues. You can find her product in most big box retail outlets: Target, Kmart, Walmart, Amazon.com, Bed Bath & Beyond. So make sure you check out her product, which is The Spatty. And we're going to be giving away one of those products tonight for someone that has joined the show. We want to make sure that you we see everybody that's joined. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick one of the winners, and we're going to send you a message so we can get your information. So we appreciate you guys joining us. Any final parting words?
Just thank you for having me on here, and for anybody out there who's looking to start a business, wish you the best of luck. And hopefully I have helped by this interview, and helped answer some questions, and helped inspire other people who are starting their own business, or who have already, or who are working on building a business. So just thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome. Thank you guys again for joining. You always can find my my Facebook Live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Tonight we're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube, as well as Google Hangouts for my special guest. So make sure you join me. You can follow me on Facebook, my Facebook page with J Sharp Studios. You can find me on YouTube as well as Instagram. Thank you guys again for watching, and we will see you next time. Take care.